He whose name is she only cares about himself. She's a liar. She breaks promises and lies all the time. The thing is, she is terrible at lying because the world finds out easily. And the more she lies, the more obvious it gets. In the past 3 years, she's been at his worst. She lied about COVID-19. She lied about having magic vaccines. She just can't seem to stop it. It came to the last straw last week. She lied yet again. But this time it was because she was hiding a dark, sinister secret. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Atul Mishra, and in this video I will tell you why China is not releasing geolocation data of commercial ships sailing in its waters. Let's begin. In an alarming development for the world shipping industry, China has started hoarding geolocation data for commercial ships flocking into Chinese maritime boundaries. With insufficient data and increasing loss in visibility in Chinese waters, global shipping companies are now finding it perilous to sail towards Chinese ports. China is striving to dupe the Automatic Identification System, or the AIS, to prevent world monitors from tracking the shipping data off China's shores. Fixed-point terrestrial AIS receivers on China's coastline and interior waterways, which used to transmit the locations of nearby ships dozens of times per minute, are now mostly dark. AIS data is vital for shipping companies for tracking and securing their ships, along with accordingly facilitating ship traffic to avoid clogging and congestion at destination ports. The driving factor behind China's AIS blackout is China's new personal information protection law that took effect on November the 1st. Everything under the sun in China is a national security threat for the CCP, and that's why it has restricted foreign nationals from accessing AIS data on grounds that anti-China powers could use this data to destabilize the already battered and bruised Chinese economy. But there is definitely more to China's illegal hoarding of geolocation data than what meets the eyes. Make no mistake, China's commercial ships are no less a threat than its fishing militia or the People's Liberation Army Navy. Consider this. China in 2019 tested a missile that could be deployed on and fired from a shipping container, making it convenient for China to launch deadly missile attacks against enemies using its military vessels disguised as commercial ships. So China may now step up its efforts to unleash its shipping militia on the world as its fishing militia wreaks havoc in exclusive economic zones of other nations. In an event of a war, China would be in a position to induct its kamikaze-style military vessels into commercial fleets without even letting the world know about their origins. For democratic countries, it would become difficult to identify which of China's thousands of shipping boats are associated with the maritime militia and which are not. The second reason behind China's brazen AIS blackout is its quest to downsize imports and help its crippled economy. Industry experts believe that decreased visibility would likely cause more congestion at Chinese ports, which have been gridlocked amid poor weather and pandemic-related disruptions, because it would become harder to time vessel arrivals with low traffic periods. So badly clogged ports will surely help China rein in its burgeoning imports. China's imports grew at their fastest pace in 10 years this year, fueled by surging demand and heightened inflation at home. Also, production costs in China have gone up drastically, forcing Chinese consumers to increasingly look for cheaper foreign substitute. Falling exports and surging imports are also threatening China's foreign reserves. So China is discouraging world shipping companies from embarking on a China-bound journey, which could very well prove suicidal in the long run, as it would only throttle already stressed supply chains at home. The third reason behind China orchestrating this AIS blackout could be to resuscitate its dying shipping industry and provide its own shipping companies with a considerable advantage over foreign ones. China has not stopped receiving the AIS data. It is just not sharing it with other nations. So Chinese authorities will always remain aware of the real-time geolocation of all the vessels floating in its maritime boundaries. Hence, it would be easier for Chinese ships to avoid clogging and take an easy route out of the Chinese ports. This also shows that China is wary of Japan's plans for the Southeast Asian region. Japan has already unveiled its plans to turn Southeast Asia into a logistical hub of the world. Japanese developer Daiwa House Industry will soon be launching an international logistics business in Southeast Asia, catering to the growing number of Japanese manufacturers operating in the region. So for China to keep Japan from toppling its position as the sole logistics supplier in the region, it becomes necessary to hold some significant advantage over its would-be Japanese competitors. China knows it is running a race it can never win. China's economic collapse has made it a pariah for world traders. China's militarizing of its shipping vessels also shows that its PLA is least prepared to fight out its rivals in the Indo-Pacific region. China's nefarious plans to further stir turmoil in the world supply chains are now out in the open, and the world must resort to retaliatory measures to make China taste its own poison.